Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Cosmic Insight Astrology. I am your co-pilot, Christina. Listen, I'm so busy, like I have a lot of deadline. So I made the decision I'm not doing anything with my deadlines, but I actually figured out a few things and I wanted to share with you right away. So a lot of you were asking to go back to Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens and celebrities and the way they like for example Charlie died and let's find out something with astrology. And actually I brought you also Virginia Griffus as well, and Shujir Balaji, and he was actually the CEO of ChatGPT with Sam Altman. And I was watching Tucker Carlson's interview with him where he said, okay, it is an allegation right now. Like you cannot ask questions about his death because you are. Um, do you assume like I killed him, something like that? And it was very suspicious for me. So I did the chart for both of them. I also found an asteroid Epstein, and then I also checked the chart of APEC as well, right? And I going back even to Kennedy's chart as well when he was shot on 1963, November 22nd. I'm gonna show you guys a lot of things over here. And also I'm going to go back when Trump got shot in June. Yes, no, the war in Iran, actually the 12 days war. We're also going to check it. And when Trump got shot, actually, and it was in, let me see again the day. Oh, I forgot to actually write it down, but it was in July someday. But let me see. I just gonna go up here and wait for a second. Trump got shot. I know it was the Mars and Uranus conjunction, which gonna happen next year also on America's 250th birthday, which gonna be a total big civil war. So you all have to get ready. Okay, Trump gets shot date. Okay, that is July 13th. All right, so I wrote it down somewhere. Okay, so July 13th, and I was the first one actually, if you remember, in January that year, who said Trump going to get shot around your head, something gonna happen, and it's gonna be between July 12 and 15th, and it's online in January when I predicted it. Okay, so let me share a few charts with you, and let's start with Virginia. And if you know that her book came out actually October 21st. Um, and she does, name a few people who was in the circle who visited Epstein Island. But she doesn't really, besides Andrew, she doesn't really name anyone else. However, she was talking about a foreign prime minister who was brutally raped herself, and she was bleeding from her vagina and anus and choking her. So that book is brutal, like brutal. Like I don't even know who can somebody and do this. But let me share her chart first with you. All right, so here it is, and I'm going to make a share. Most of the people who are watching these videos, right, you guys know astrology. But if you want to, you can actually send that to Candace Owens because I know she is always sharing her email. If anybody knows anything about the tips, it is a tips online. Obviously, this is not anything tip, it is astrology, but anyway, it explains a lot of things. All right, guys, here is Virginia's chart. As you can see, she had a Leo new moon when she was born, and she has her ascendant in Leo conjuncting with asteroid Israel. And look at that. Epstein, asteroid Epstein in the eighth house of her, okay? And the eighth house, anything to do with CIA, FBI, Hades, Mossad, anything to do with death, sex trafficking. Epstein is over here. Pisces representing secrecy or actually island as well. So Right now, as we can see, astrology is literate. So Epstein Island in the eighth house of sex trafficking, right? Over here. And actually, that is the date when she died, April 25th, 2025. They said she committed suicide. However, right before she said she is not suicidal. And, I mean, if she would have been suicidal, obviously she would have been suicidal when she had that kind of trauma right away. But she survived that for 20 years. She was only 41 years old when she died in Australia, actually. But look at this chart, guys. She has Mars actually in fall. So she in the 12th house of secrecy, right? And Mars in the 12th house is squaring Pluto Saturn conjunction in the third house in Libra. Saturn is actually in exaltation, and Pluto over here and conjunct Medusa as well. So that is in Libra, which is representing in the third house selling and buying, right? Libra something to do with relationships or because of some kind of pleasurable joy with Pluto and Medusa, for selling her for some kind of pleasurable joy, squaring with Mars being abused, sexually abused. Okay. And just the fact the asteroid Israel conjunct with her ascendant, right, in her book, and obviously in her, because she had a lot of court case, and she said she was raped by the Israeli prime minister, which is like, let me see, Barack someone, I forget his name, uh, Israeli prime minister raped Virginia. Okay, let me see if, because Google sometimes it's just like going to censor me and never going to give. Okay, so the Israeli prime minister, who was actually the one, uh, oh my God, yes, here it is, and I don't see the prime minister name, but I know that was Barack someone. Just let me check. Wait a minute, I'm gonna pause this video. Ehud Barak, I found him. So Ehud Barak was the one who raped her, and like it was like choking her until she lost conscious, and like terrible things. So as you can see over here, and she has the 16 degrees sun also conjunct with Israel over here and her ascendant. So it definitely, because of the sun itself, could be a leader, and Israeli leader on her ascendant and in fixed sign. So obviously this could be one of the indication over here she was abused by someone who is a leader and from a different country, and the asteroid Israel. The day when she died, we had actually a Mars and Pluto opposition. It was very difficult for a lot of people. I reminded you guys to be careful over there. And actually, Mars was up to 3 degrees, very close to her ascendant. It is a wild conjunction, and Pluto is opposing in open enemies, guys. This is not a suicide. We all know that, right? Open enemies. So here you go, what's going on. And also we had Uranus actually in the 10th house, because of she was actually standing up, and everybody knew about her book already back then, and she's not not backing up. So not backing up, not backing back, not pulling back. So that's why Uranus is chaos, and it is actually creating a square with her moon and sun, and also creating, let me see, with Aquarius, well, that is Ceres over here, so that's not really, but Pluto and Mars was actually creating a square with the midheaven. And the midheaven itself, it's also her stand in public, the way she is actually seen in public. And as I said, she was fighting, for herself and for the other victims. And she was very outspoken. And as I said, she mentioned that multiple times. She's not suicidal, but Pluto squared her midheaven. And Mars as well created a T square, which is representing being killed by politicians, because 10th house is politicians, and Uranus also squared with her moon and sun, unfortunately. So this is absolutely, and Israel, transit Israel was squaring her ascendant as well. So because she knew so much and she was ready to talk about that, even about the prime minister of Israel who abused her very badly, that's why she lost her life over here. But literally, I just wanted to show you where is Epstein for her, and the island itself, and 8 hours of what is Mossad, and FBI, CIA, secret agents, yes, sex trafficking. So I just wanted to show that for you. All right, so I'm gonna go from here, and right now let me see actually Prince Andrew for you guys, because of over there, what's happening at this moment with Prince Andrew. He lost all his title. And obviously, he was reminded, they know the book is coming out, and everybody knew he has a connection with Andrew, right? Okay, so here is Prince Andrew. I just going to change the chart because he had to um, resign recently. So let me go in October 25th, for example. Yes, let's go 25th of October 2025. Here it is. So that is Prince Andrew. He also has a Leo rising, right? Let me see. Is it Andrew? Yes, it is Andrew. Yes. And he does have actually, what did I see? Oh, yes. I saw something. Wait, just a second. Hmm. All right, so here is Prince Andrew. Yes, he does have an 8th house, 0 degree sun in Pisces, and everything to do with 8th house. It's sex trafficking, right? We were talking about that, and he does have Scorpio moon as well. This is also representing, very usually that is a person who has some kind of, it could have some kind of sexual like fetish as well, because it is squaring with Chiron in Aquarius and squaring out of sign square with the sun also, and the sun is in the eighth house. So they have actually only 4 degrees between the sun and the moon, between the square, and it's out of sign, but it's still creating some kind of fetish over here for him. All right. Also, he has Mars and Venus conjunction in Capricorn. Mars is exaltation. So Capricorn is actually using his power. And there is Israel also, the asteroid Israel over here for him. And at this moment, he has Israel and transit exalted Jupiter in the 12th house, 12th house of anything to do with spy, anything to do with bribe as well, and blackmails as well, 12th house and 8th house blackmails as well. And Israel, Jupiter is exalted and opposing Mars and Venus. Mars and Venus conjunction, especially Mars is exalted, so using his power in any kind of sexual affair, for example. And it could be actually revealed to the public, and it is revealed. So that's the blackmailing over here for him, representing the blackmailing over here for him. Okay, so then what else? Because Capricorn, Mars and Venus is also squaring with the midheaven Aries, and Chiron is transiting his midheaven in Aries. So in midheaven in Aries and in the ninth house, usually it's a prince and not a king, right? And he could have never been actually a king. But Aries over there, it's discord and aggression, and Aries is chaos as well. Aries want you to suffer. So this Aries Chiron square with Venus and Mars over here opposing transit Israel and Jupiter, creating a T square over here, and it shows definitely the bribe, and he's powerless, absolutely powerless. So in this case, on the other hand, second house is his money, his finances, and he has Epstein and North Node conjunct in the second house. So actually, he had to pay tremendous amount of money out for Epstein because he been bribed. So his finances and his purpose and was depend on Epstein because he was bribed over here. Yes. And he does have also a Pluto and Sun opposition, which is again showing some kind of sexual fetish over here, especially because Pluto is sexuality and because of the Sun is in Pisces, secret fetish, behind the scene being bribed by Mossad, CIA, FBI, or even the British CIA, but the British spy agency, whatever is that, but he's been actually, blackmailed over here. So that's why he had to resign right away, because of midheaven is squaring right now with the conjunction over here with Israel, Mars, and Venus, and opposing transit Israel and Jupiter. So that is very obvious over here. Okay, and the sexual fetish shows. And he was really, really favored by his mother. And the mother also asked a few times, "Is it even legal?" Like you are dating girls who seems to be underage. I just don't understand. As a mother and a powerful mother, why don't you, do something with your son? All right, then let's go actually. And I want to talk about right now Sam Altman and Shujir Balaji. And I'm going to show you Shujir Balaji, who was an Indian genius. He was a prodigy. And he celebrated his 26th birthday on November 21st, went to California with his friends for 5 days. He was in very good spirit. Previously, he was a whistleblower, and he said ChatGPT, he resigned. And he said ChatGPT is actually using illegally data, and he wants to leave ChatGPT because he wants to serve humanity. He started a crowdfund for his own business, As I said, he was a genius, and I saw poor her, her mother talking and her pain, like losing his son, and they didn't allow the parents in when they found the child on the 26th of November 2024, but they couldn't contact him since the 22nd when he went home, and they showed the last text message with the father, and the police report and autopsy says something different. They did a private autopsy as well, the parent, and it's showing actually the guy was made sit down and shot actually from the head here and not from here, what the other police report says. And also somebody before, when he was washing his teeth, abused him with some kind of bed because he had a trauma as well. So he did not die from the gun, bullet. Actually, he died from something else. All right, I just wanted to tell you about that. So, first of all, he was a whistleblower, right? And Google and ChatGPT allowed Israel to use their the GPT and the Google to detect people. For example, the journalist who they cut and killed, right? Because I told you guys a year and a half ago, we're going to have drones, which is capable to detect face, and they can go there and drones can kill you. They allow, and tiny little drones, right? And it doesn't even have to be bullet, as I said, because of Uranus in Gemini, it's something to do with some kind of frequency, energy, which is very, very quick. And we're going to talk about that when we talk about Charlie Kirk and, how the bullet stopped and what did kill him. It could be some kind of sound frequency, some kind of frequency technology that they use, and you don't need a bullet anymore. Okay. But this guy got beaten up and also had a bullet in his head. Let me show you something. I found also an asteroid Samuel, and his co-founder was Sam Altman, who was also, I'm gonna show his chart, favored by his mommy, and he was actually accused by his sister. He was raping his sister for 7 years, and they said the girl is mentally ill, and the accusation is invalid. Whatever. I'm gonna show his chart in a second, but right now you have to see something over here. So this young kid, Shujir, was actually a Taurus ascendant, okay? And let me go back, actually, it's October 20, but he got killed. I'm going to have to get the chart selection. He got actually killed November 22nd. So we go actually November 22nd, 2024 here, because I'm going to bring in the data whenever somebody died for you. Okay, here it is. All right. So that is the day when the last text message, was received. That was his solar return. As I said, he was not suicidic, and he has his solar return. Okay, what can we see from here? Pluto was actually on the cusp, a 0 degree, 22 minutes in Aquarius, just entered over here. All right. And where did he enter? He entered where is the career zone for him, the 10th house over here. So he was really powerful. He was very smart, and he was a whistleblower. So he could ruin the relationship, and he could ruin, anything for Sam Altman. And Sam Altman is supporting Israel and the Mossad and the technology over there. This guy, this Shujir, Midheaven and Epstein also conjunct over here. So that is just like some kind of, like interesting things over here, because I do believe Epstein was the biggest blackmail organization ever in history. What's blackmailed the US and also England, multiple countries as well. And because of, we have to bring that in here, because of this guy was working with this Sam Altman together, and he was the original guy who actually feed it ChatGPT with data, and then he realized that's illegal, and it could be very dangerous for the general public and for humanity. So he stabbed the whistleblower, right? But yes, the operation itself and the Mossad was Epstein, was the one who was the connection, the bridge. So we brought this in. Okay, let's see something else. Let's see, for example, the eighth house. So he had a solar return, and by the time when they killed him, the sun was already actually tipping into the eighth house. Eighth house is anything to do with death, right? And Venus is over here for him, but that's not really important, but in the eighth house, right? So what does it do? Does it do anything with any other, let's see. Yes, it's creating a sextile with Pluto. Many times, sextile is Venetian in flavor, right? But when, for example, a sun in the eighth house, which is malefic, the eighth house, even sextiling with a malefic, it could create a death. It could create a violent death over here by shooting, by actually assassination. And seems to be like also a professional who, like came into the apartment and killed him, right? Because he had to sit down and they, shoot him from above. So assassination over here. Okay, guys, what else can we see over here? Let me see if we do have anything else. Yes, we do have actually Mars also here, and it's also creating in the fifth house. He has Medusa and Mars conjunction in the fifth house. So what he loved to do, Mercury ruled Virgo is data, right? It is like creating data analysis. Virgo really capable to pay attention for small details. But Medusa and Mars here could also be, and it's opposing Jupiter in Pisces, and Jupiter is in rulership in his natal chart. It is someone who is, for example, Jupiter law and order and justice as well, especially in the 11th house in planetary joy as well, and 11th house also court system. Mars itself, it's the whistleblower, someone who is reminding us of the danger. Medusa is the danger of the data, right? We are creating something which could be very, very dangerous. And Mars is squaring with his moon, obviously, with his natal moon. Pallas Athena was there. Pallas Athena is the planet of asteroid of wisdom over here, but obviously, because it's a square, something was not wise about him. So maybe he was too courageous. Maybe, he was too trustful. Maybe he would never think of that he could get killed, for example, because of his saying the truth. It could represent some kind of naivety over here. So that's what it is. But I just want to show you Samuel, very Samuel, for example, because I put a asteroid over here, which is asteroid Samuel. And I just wanted to show that for you. So by transit, Samuel actually, it's on Israel, obviously in the seventh house of open enemies for him on the solar return chart and traveling together with his sun, right? It's not conjuncting, but it's traveling together. So it is an influence over here. And by the way, this Sam Altman has a Scorpio sun, no, Taurus sun, I'm sorry. So, and it's opposing each other. So you just see 29 degrees Scorpio sun this guy has, and this Samuel guy, I'm gonna change the chart, has Saturn over here and the sun opposing to sun. We will see in a second, right? But anyway, Uranus was opposing, and Uranus is on Argo, guys, in the first house of body and physical health. Argo is beheaded or something to do with the head, like beaten in the head, and the obviously the gunshot over here opposing his sun on the solar return chart. So this is definitely shows a murder over here, open enemies. The guy obviously knew about this guy. The guy knew this person who shot him. I just want to tell you, he knew who shot him. All right. But he was surprised. because of, as I said, Palasatine on his moon and moon his emotion, and he would never think someone would be capable to do something like this. All right, so that's what happened over here. All right, and in his natal chart, where is Samuel? Yes, actually, again, Samuel in his natal chart, 28 degrees Aquarius, Israel was transiting by the time of death. And look at that. Natal Israel in Scorpio, and Samuel was transiting of the chart of the asteroid Israel. It is very, very weird. And by nature, Scorpio and Aquarius is square to each other's. Scorpio is open enemy over here in the seventh house. Aquarius is a reputation of either a country or this person. Okay, I'm just saying. All right. And you're going to translate however you want. I just show you. And let's see Sam Altman. And we're gonna go actually exactly the day of when this Shujir got killed or suicidal, but we all know what's happened over here. Let's see what's happening here. So he has also an ascendant in Taurus, and his moon is in sun is also in Taurus, and the moon also. This guy, moon and Mars, is conjuncting with asteroid Medusa and with Argo fixed star as well. Look at that. His moon with Mars very violent on Medusa and on Argo, which is also the Medusa, but the fixed star, opposing Saturn in the seventh house, Scorpio. The moon itself is exalted in Taurus. Mars is very violent with, he is definitely mommy's little boy, and mommy prefer him, but maybe because mommy also scared of him because of Mars is here. Her mother is a dermatologist actually, and Mars over here could show Mars Saturn opposition, Saturn in Scorpio. It is a person who is controlling with a female figure sexually in the family. Okay, guess what? The sister actually was claiming she was raped over 7 years, since she was 3 years old until she was 11. The man was already an adult, and the claim says she was still raped by him. All right. Okay. So I'm just saying astrology, nothing else. But the day when the other guy got suicidal, this Uranus was on all goal where where his moon and Mars is, right? Opposing Saturn, and Saturn conjunct the other child, the other man, Shujir's sun and solar return, guys. Isn't that obvious in astrology what's going on here? And wait a minute here. Israel is up to 25 degrees Aquarius fixed star, squaring with Uranus and his Mars and moon. It's a pressure. It's a pressure cooking. It's tremendous pressure if you want to keep your status as a CEO. You know what to do. Saturn on the other guys. Remember, where was the sun to the other guys? To Shujir, it was 29 degrees in here in Scorpio, and by transit, it went actually in zero. It was on the cusp of 8 house of death. All right. So you can see that over here as well. What else can we see here? All right. Yeah, that is very important, first of all. And you can see the rape claim, which I think it's not only a claim, and you can see his mommy's favorite, perhaps, or mommy is scared of him also. You can see that here. Okay, let's go and move forward from him. So this is another case that Candace Owens would actually investigate. Okay, let's go Jeffrey Epstein, actually. I want to go to Jeffrey Epstein here, and we're gonna go to Clinton and Kennedy as well. Here is Epstein, and Epstein got killed oh my God, where did he get killed? On the 19th, 2019. Okay, I have to check that as well. Let me just check it here. Epstein death date. Epstein death date. Okay, it's came up. Oh, somebody is listening. Okay, August 10, 2019. So Epstein died August 10 because we need that. Epstein, August 10, 2019. Okay, let's see. All right, we're just going to put that in for you guys. Here it is. Okay, no, stop it. Let me do the chart selection. And 2019, August 10th for you guys. Just have to check if the boys are okay. Not calling from school. All right, here is Epstein. And he has the midheaven with part of fortune in Scorpio in the 11th house of VIP people. All right, VIP people. All right, very powerful. Scorpio ruled by Pluto and Mars. Very, very powerful people, and part of fortune, he created his fortune through scorpionic way, sex trafficking or bribe or blackmailing. That is Scorpio, right? Okay, let's see something else. What is his ascendant? His ascendant is Capricorn, guys. He had a 0 degree. What is that? Aquarius sun. North Node is in Aquarius as well. So definitely very good with money, right? And the way he actually created his money, it's squaring with part of fortune and the midheaven, but the square is Martian in flavor. Actually, it's an initiator and aggressive, so he's going after aggressively. Like whatever he's entitled and going after money aggressively with bribes. Over here, that's what it means. All right. So Israel is 17 degrees and Epstein ascendant is 12 degrees. Oh my God. It is just exactly the same like Virginia's had it, right? So he was influenced, obviously, by Israel. Okay, let's see something else. He had Pluto, 22 degrees, fixed star in the eighth house. Guys, 22 degrees killed or to be killed, but it's only in fixed stars, not like Nikola Stoyanovich said. It's not every 22 degrees. It's only in fixed stars, Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, and uh, and uh, and which one is that? Scorpio, but he had it in Leo, in the eighth house. Eighth house is death anyway. Pluto is powerful people, right? And Pluto is also death, also sex trafficking. He was catering to wealthy and even famous people, like maybe golfers or athletic people, something to do with Leo also stage as well. So anything to do with Hollywood, for example, the dark side of Hollywood, he was catering. And he has actually a sextile between Saturn, but it's too malefic, right? When we have too malefic and Saturn is actually in in exaltation in Libra, guys, exaltation Saturn could actually have some kind of fetish here as well, just like Prince Andrew had. So it is just showing, especially with Neptune conjunction, lies. Also, Neptune is fogginess, lies, and addiction for power. He was addicted with power as well. And he was a dominator, for example. And that's what it represents. So his guilty, ill pleasures, right? For his addictions. And he has Venus exaltation in Pisces and Mars is in Pisces. It's also representing with trining with Uranus in Cancer. he actually not only had sex most likely with girls, but perhaps he was bisexual most likely because Venus is exalted with Mars and Uranus is the gay people. So he definitely had sex or orgies with men as well. So this is no doubt about that. And this is actually the day when he died, right? And Jupiter was in the 12th house. 12th house is hospitals, 12th house is prisons as well. Jupiter was in rulership, in Sagittarius, daytime rulership, right? And the moon was over there. So the moon, and it's on actually, well, it's in 15 degrees, yes. And Nemesis is in 21 degrees. Nemesis is someone who you knew but became an enemy the day when you died. So Nemesis, that's over here for him. And does it do any square with something? Yes, actually Jupiter square with Venus and Mars here. And Jupiter doesn't square with anything else. But itself, it is something to do with the prison, and the 12th house is eternal womb, it is end of life, it is actually afterlife as well. So over here, Jupiter liberation from this body, perhaps, but what's happening here, it is, the death could be. And where is Israel? Yes, Israel is actually with the ascendant, but did it? Oh, yes, actually. Oh, okay, so that was 2019 August, and we had Saturn-Pluto conjunction in 2020 January. So Saturn-Pluto was very close to each other. That's what I wanted to say. Saturn was on Israel and Pluto as well, and on Mercury, and squared exalted Saturn Neptune for him. So this was I wanted to show here for you. So the Saturn Pluto is death ordered by powerful politician Capricorn, right? Here it is. Because of your social status is shady, Neptune is gossip, or Neptune is spy, or Neptune also when you are a rat in mafia or whatever, when you say something. Saturn is in the 10th house also a politician scared for their reputation, squaring with this Pluto Saturn over here on his asteroid Israel, right? Here it is. So it is obviously creating an issue, Saturn Pluto ordered by politicians, and to be actually ending your life. And Jupiter is just confirming something to do in jail by Nemesis. Nemesis, someone who ordered your death and you were friend with. That's what it is here. And Pluto be killed or to be killed here, also representing that as well. And oh, Mars was on Pluto, guys, in 24 degrees actually. But Mars on Pluto in the eighth house, it's a definite order over here of his death and being killed, you know. All right. So that was Epstein on that date. Let's go and okay, let's see John F. Kennedy's death. And we're gonna go and I'm going to do the chart selection for 1963, November 22nd, because that's when he got killed, 1963. So Kennedy was the one who said APEC has to register and he doesn't want nuclear power for Israel. So November 22nd. Okay. And we're gonna go over here. Check this, guys. All right. So here it is. Kennedy had a stellium in the eighth house, right? And then it was actually squaring with Uranus. He has Uranus Israel conjunction in the fifth house. Saturn was transiting Israel Uranus conjunction and squaring off in the eighth house, Mercury and Mars. Actually, it's more like Mars because Mars is aggressive over here, and Israel Mars is squaring itself. So yes, and what? So that is just the natal chart over here, but Saturn is triggering this square. Saturn is seas of life, death, right? Okay. And then let me say something else. North Node actually was in Cancer for him. He also has Saturn midheaven conjunction over here in Cancer. And let me see if it's created anything. Uh, so yes, he did have a square with Jupiter, and it is actually 12 degrees away. So it's a very wide square with between the midheaven, but open enemy right over here. And why is it really important? Because the midheaven is 23 degrees, transit Jupiter is only 11 degrees with Aries, which is discord and chaos and ruthlessness, right? It is the shooter who is hired, the professional shooter who is hired, for example. And look at that. Medusa, it's already triggering Medusa. Medusa is in 14 degrees, which is also discord and also assassin, shooting someone as well. And Aries Jupiter, it's already conjuncting, and it is transferring to the midheaven, taking him out by open enemies. Open enemies was Israel, because he didn't want actually APEC. He didn't want the influence of APEC. He didn't want anything to do with nuclear power of Israel here. All right, so that's what happened over here. Plus, we have to check, other things here as well. Transit Israel was on his North Node in Capricorn. North Node is his purpose, and in Capricorn is to become actually a politician, to become actually either a governor or a prime minister or a president, and he was the president of the United States. But it's in the fourth house because he got a lot of opposition, he got a lot of pressure. Yes, Israel was on it, and guess what? North Node is also opposing Pluto for him and transit Israel during the time he was died. Okay. Then the other thing, Medusa, which is, as I said, the shooter, the hired shooter as well, and Eris as well, it's on his ascendant in Libra. And the ascendant Medusa is squaring with Saturn and midheaven when he was dead. So it was ordered. It's obvious. And he also had Pluto and Uranus, unexpected, right? Uh, but he was also scared. He was also mentioned before he was died, and he had a Virgo moon in the 12th house, which is Pluto was on his moon. It's also showing, and it's squaring with the 9th house sun as well, and Venus over here. He was really loved by the people. The moon is the people, right? He was loved, but he got actually killed. And yeah, so that is what I just wanted to show you guys. Who is Israel coming into the picture all the time, every single time. This is like unbelievably scary, actually. Unbelievably scary here. And then we're going to go to Charlie Kirk. And actually, I'm going to go to Erica Kirk as well. But I just want, and Candace Owens, I'm going to go back to Candace. So here is Charlie Kirk. And let me not forget about Trump when he got shot. Also, I want to show you something. Okay, so here is Charlie Kirk, and I put Israel in, obviously. Israel is in 29 degrees of the 7th house of open enemies and alliances and open enemies, Rockefeller degree. What's happened with Charlie Kirk? Charlie Kirk actually got a lot of funding from Israel at the beginning. So he dropped out from college. I told you guys, Chiron is in 5th house. It's a bitterness about college. Venus is in fall in the 9th house of university. He is a dropout, right? And somebody actually recognized him, who was a 71-year-old man, and he recognized his capability to influence youth and started to support him financially. And he took like $4 million at the beginning from Israel. So the turning point USA was based on Israel lobbyist money. as you see, Rockefeller degree. So he became actually very, very rich through that. And by the way, Erica Kirk is 5 years older than Charlie. He married very young. And I'm gonna show a few things about Erica. If you are reading, and listening YouTube and reading, obviously, then you understand there was an accusation of Erica Kirk being in actually trafficked Romanian orphans for sex trafficking or something like that. I don't know if it's true or not, but there is an accusation over there. Just check it, read about it yourself. Okay, but we're gonna go back to Charlie over here. Okay, so for example, we do have North Node is in Cancer over, oh, no, 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 because that is the transit of, wait a minute, I have to do the chart selection. So he was killed September 10th, 2025. So we're gonna go back. Sorry about that. September 10th. We know we had actually on September 7th and a Pisces solar eclipse, and Pisces also, secrecy. It's also CIA, FBI, Mossad, any kind of secret agency, just like the eighth house. All right. So the eclipse was over there, right? And it's coming right after the eclipse. So Jupiter transiting his seventh house of open enemies or alliances. Jupiter is exalted over here. It's a lot of push. They offered him a lot of things, everything, just to change his mind because he moved away from the Israel lobbyist and he said, I cannot, like, sorry, be an advocate anymore because I know what's happening. All right, here it is. When he died the day, he had Mars actually on his sun, guys. And Mars was in Libra, in the burning way, via combusta. And his sun actually is in fall because of exaltation. The sun exalted in Aries, so it's in fall in Libra, and he has the Sun and Jupiter conjunction in the 10th house, which means the person who has Sun Jupiter conjunction in the 10th house will be famous and rich before their 35th birthday. Charlie Kirk was only 31 or 32 when he died. Obviously, yes, he was famous. He has a new moon in Libra over here, right? He was born on a new moon, and here it is. During the day when he died, he had Mars on his sun. Mars is shooting, right? Taking his life away. Also, Jupiter is over here. Jupiter is something to do with VIP people. And because of Libra also representing legal matters and in the 10th house of something to do with politics, Jupiter also representing universities and colleges. And he was speaking in a university when he died. Mars is over here, right? And it is also squaring with Neptune, lies and betrays by politician Capricorn. Something unexpected, Uranus is over here. I'm not sure he was bleeding, obviously, so there was some kind of blood over there. But on the other hand, one bullet stabbed because he was so strong, his neck, whatever. And then the t-shirt had no blood on it. The people who was actually the guy who was his bodyguard was also there when Trump got shot. If you saw that, guys, that is the same guy. And you saw the pictures. He was talking to someone who's supposed to be this Tyler, but it wasn't Tyler. You can see the ear, the difference over there. I don't know if you saw Jimmy Dore, and right now even Kim Iversen, and a lot of people talking about that. That was a guy who barely has followers also, who was checking, like the hospital where they took Charlie, and then after he got shot, and also the surgeons who try to do something and a surgery on him a month, 2 months before his death. On the other hand, guys, I don't know if you know that or not, there is the Snake Eye. That is a not documentary, it's a movie, and it is Charles Kirkland, who was killed in the neck shot. And by the way, who is famous about neck shots? IDF. They go into the neck. But okay, here it is. Let's move forward over here. So I'm just saying that is Neptune going betrayed, lied to, betrayed by government people. So politicians. He got betrayed by politicians. VIP people got killed. But Uranus is over here. Uranus is, as I said, frequency, drone. Uranus is drone. It's squaring with Mars and the Sun. It could be a miniature drone, for example, not necessarily a gun. It could be also some kind of strong energy frequency which is going through, but it doesn't even have to be a bullet. There is no autopsy also, or they said there is, but they never going to reveal it for the public. All right. So that is over here. And let me see something else. Where is Israel for him? Yes, Israel is in 29 degrees. How he created his money, it is because of he was young, he was very power hungry and young, and obviously Israel could manipulate him, right? So or he took the money from the wrong people, from the wrong lobbyist. He made a mistake, and the moment he realized he made a mistake, and he's like, okay, let's invite back Candice because we started everything together, and perhaps I can believe her because right now I see what's going on, then he got killed. All right, here it is. Yes, that's what's happened with him. And also, Pluto is in very early degrees in the second house, and it's still creating an opposition with Israel for him. And Jupiter is already triggering this opposition. So there is a kind of, it's out of sign, but because of Israel and Pluto is out of sign opposition over here, which is death, right? And it is like the values or morals are not the same anymore. And Jupiter here in exaltation triggering this asteroid over here, right? It's not opposing Pluto whatsoever because Jupiter has to come up here in the eighth house, but somehow it's still going to trigger the asteroid Israel, and they are out of sign opposition. So there is multiple. Like thesis here, but for example, he had Pluto in Scorpio, Nemesis, and the midheaven in Scorpio with Mars. So it's a person who could be, it's arrogance as well. So I don't know. I don't care if you liked him or hated him. I'm just translating here the energy and the what does it mean, what the keywords of the planets, and yes, midheaven and Mars together, it's a powerful person or liked and supported by powerful people, and Pluto is here as well, as you can see, right? 11th house is the VIP. It is the crime of the elite who are powerful, who are criminals also, because, Pluto and Mars for him. Well, Pluto Mars conjunction many, many times it's dictatorism. You can see that with a lot of people who has Pluto Mars in the same sign that could be very arrogant and some kind of authoritarian, like they not necessarily care for your opinion. It's everybody sees a person differently, as I said. In my eyes, a person could be an angel, and in your eyes, maybe is the worst enemy, right? So we have different, feelings about things, but definitely. And the Jupiter and Sun over here, it could represent it. He would want it to be maybe a president later. And I don't know how, because he didn't serve in the army. He didn't have really education, but maybe he could have been. But obviously, he turned away, and that's why he got killed. So that's Neptune over here got betrayed. Uranus is drawn or some kind of different energy here. Yes, so we came back here. Okay, what else is happening during this time? So I just want to see if there is anything else. Hmm. Virgo actually it's in fall in the ninth house, and I mean their relationship from far away seems to be, or seem to be actually pleasant, or, love. But I don't think so. He was loved the way he wanted to be loved, because Venus is in fall and Saturn opposing Saturn, Epstein, and transit Neptune also opposing Venus, which is in fall. So it also could represent maybe there was an argument before between him and the significant other about something. Maybe significant other was just scared for his life, because what I heard, somebody cursed him, some beach or whatever it is, but I don't understand if you are a Christian, right? How do you believe in that kind of like a witch can curse you? Because if you are protected by Jesus Christ, I'm a Buddhist myself, so, but I do believe in Jesus Christ prophecies as well. And I'm not saying I was not Christian at one point, I was, but I converted to Buddhism, you guys know, because it makes sense to me. It's like it's respect of every kind of being on earth and live in harmony, even with bugs, like, so that's why I have chosen, I told you guys, I don't step on an ant just for fun. Uh, so, yeah. So I don't know why would she or he, would be scared if you are protected by the loving Christian energy. You shouldn't be scared, but perhaps because of he knew his life is in danger because he went against APEC, right? So here it is. So that's Charlie Kirk, and let's go then. Um, let's see, Erica Kirk. I just want to, here is APEC, so we're going to talk about APEC a little bit and bring Bill Clinton, because that was funny also, what I realized over here. But here is Erica Kirk, and that was the day of death when Charlie died, right? So she has a Medusa and midheaven in Leo conjunction. All right. It squares with Pluto and ascendant conjunction in Scorpio fixed stars. Mercury is also 22 degrees Scorpio in fixed stars. So I would be a little bit scared about some kind of car accidents. Somebody could actually create something. If she is not obedient, she could have a car accident, right? Because Mercury is car. So she should be a little bit mindful with this. Yeah, but she has a Scorpio sun, and she really knows what she wants. Pluto is in Scorpio with the ascendant over there, so it's very powerful. uh, I would think this is a person who doesn't do anything out of love or compassion. She knows what she wants and she's going to achieve it no matter what. That's it. And listen, Medusa, chaos, discord with her midheaven on Leo. So obviously, midheaven actually in Leo, and Pluto in the 13 degrees squaring, it could be because she was a beauty pageant at Trump's uh, beauty pageant, whatever is that organization. It squares over here, right? So she could be seduced by power and glamour and money. That's definitely there. All right. So let me see. So her husband is in 1 degree. Jupiter represents the husband. Jupiter is in detriment for him in the eighth house. It shows a widow. It's a widow. Uranus is on Jupiter. It is something to do unexpected, quick, right? And it's opposing her sun, out of sign opposition, but still an opposition. So it's creating actually a death of a husband and, unexpected. Jupiter is in detriment, and Gemini also young ages. So it's a premature age of, death of a husband figure unexpectedly. All right. So that's what's happening over here. and Uranus, and also squaring actually Juno, which is like Juno is your soulmate. It is loyalty. For example, Juno was very loyal to Jupiter, even if he betrayed her all the time. But yes, so that's what it means over here. But it is the death of a husband. Medusa is opposing over here, and the Sun as well, and Mercury. Okay, let's see what else is happening over here. So she has Epstein and Medusa and Midheaven opposition, and she was accused in Romania in an orphanage, 12 houses orphanages, guys, actually. She has Venus in 12th house in Libra in rulership. Let me see if it makes any thing. Yes, it does square with Epstein asteroid over here in the fourth house. Fourth house is anything to do with, for example, patriot person or your homeland. So it could be like maybe she was the one who wanted to have for American people bring orphans from Romania. Maybe it was not a sex trafficking, but it was maybe she wanted American people to be able to adopt from Romanian orphanages. However, she was actually accused. So you just have to read the stories over there. But yes, it is Epstein over here for her. Okay, let me see what else is going on. Jupiter is in detriment, also the eighth house. It could be, I think, I think when she was young, she was also somehow molested or somehow wrongfully treated sexually. That's what I really think for her. And she does have Saturn and Neptune conjunction. Uranus is also Autos 5 conjunction with this. So this is a very chaotic, situation. Neptune and Israel for her conjunct and square actually with Mars, and also Israel square with her moon in the sixth house. And especially, it was a moon return for her. So that's her emotions, feelings, and squared with Israel over here. So, I don't think so. She is blinded what's happened. I do believe she knows what's happened over here. Neptune is representing secret agencies. As I said, there is Israel conjunct with that. Capricorn is government, who is behind the scene, and obviously squaring with her marriage, moon, and feeling. But the moon and Aries is also conjuncting for her. So Aries is chaos and discord, guys. And well, it was an opposition, Moon and Mars opposition for her, the time when Charlie died. And Aries is over there. Mm, I don't want to say she might have known what was planned and being scared, or maybe even being bribed or threatened, but it could be the case. Yes, somehow, because of this, what's going on this square over here. So, yeah, you saw the chart. If you actually recognize something else over here, let me know. Let me go actually Bill Clinton before I go to Trump on the time of he was shot. Here is Bill Clinton, and I just want to show you something over here. He has a Libra ascendant, right? He has a Cancer midheaven, and he had Pluto, Saturn, Mercury, and the Sun in Leo, but he actually had the moon in the eighth house in exaltation, conjunct with Israel in the eighth house. Eighth house, actually, I told you, just like 12th house, anything to do with mafia, with cartel, drug cartel, with secret agencies, spy agencies. Israel is there, and it's squaring his son, guys. So it's very obvious for me what's going on and what's going on for him. When was the Monica Lewinsky? Let me see. Just let me. Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. Uh, cheat date or whatever. I gonna see cheat date. So when did it come out? I just wanted to say, so it was November. Yes, okay, November 1995. So we're gonna go back, but okay, but April 1996. Okay, so it was November. And then the lawsuit, the sexual harassment lawsuit, was December 1997. But first, let me see, November 1995 for you guys with this man. Because I really wonder, chart selection, November 1995. What's happened over there for this man? 1995. You saw the famous painting in Epstein penthouse when he was in a blue, royal blue dress with a high heel. And that was a very freaking awkward painting of Billy. Billy Clinton. Oh my God, I hate it when I am so loyal. And when I heard about these blowjob things, I was so upset with this man, like really, really upset. I don't know, somehow it could. Okay, so Pluto was actually in Scorpio at 29 degrees in November and opposed his Israel and Moon in the eighth house. Right? Okay. So that is definitely blackmailing over here. That's so obvious, very, very obvious here. And then let me see what else happened. So where is transit Epstein, for example, because Epstein was the one who who was controlling this man. And okay, Epstein was in the fourth house in Capricorn. Oh, he had Uranus, Neptune conjunction on asteroid Epstein. And okay, let me see what else. And Epstein was on Saturn in the 11th house, VIP people. Saturn is anything to do with also control. Pluto is here as well. Um, well, definitely that is season control. So actually, he was holding him in his hand. But does it do any kind of square with something? No, it's not square. With Mercury. So in Scorpio, Mercury is in Scorpio, it's detective and fires and Mercury square. It could be something to do with the fires or some kind of showing him, for example, he was recorded because Scorpio also is spying as well. Um, and because of Uranus also spying, Neptune is bedroom spying, right? So, and it is squaring with his North Node back that time. North Node is his purpose and justice system Libra and North Node is on Jupiter. So definitely it could be exposed. Jupiter is exposing and make something bigger. So he could get scared. So yes, that is definitely by that time he knew he's screwed. He's totally screwed. And obviously he was controlled by Israel over here and Epstein is for him. Uh, in the fourth house in Capricorn. So it's almost looked like after a while he was not the president, but he was just like a marionette, uh, you know, ordered by Mossad, for example. That's what it is, because that's what it means. All right, let's see. What else is going here? Okay, let's go to Trump. Trump is very interesting also. I was like, oh my God, what's going on here? Everybody is blackmailed. Everybody is. This is like, oh, and by the way, Kennedy also, the other Kennedy, who is the head minister, when he was 17 years old, He found himself naked, came from a party. He didn't use drugs, but somehow he was under drug influence at age 17 when you read his books, and he was walking home with three Israeli guys from the party, and then he found himself. Just read his books. It's like mind blowing. I was like, oh my God, it's not a Kennedy curse. Actually, it is a curse of, like perhaps the influence of Israel. Okay, so what's happened? So July 13, 2025, I'm gonna go to Trump. 2024, sorry, 24 July 13, when Mars conjunct with, and he got shot in the ear. Okay, listen this. Okay, so we had Uranus Mars conjunction on his midheaven. This is his political power, midheaven, that is his status in public eye, right? It's squared with his Mars and ascendant, right? So Nemesis is over there, someone who actually pretend to be friend, but actually it's a Nemesis. Pluto was in the seventh house of open enemies. Pluto was on asteroid Epstein, so it's still something back from Epstein. I'm not saying Epstein is alive because I saw him to be somehow tangled or like killed, but I'm saying this is still going back to the same kind of situation. He was seen by Epstein many times. A lot of people, even Candace Owens, doesn't believe, or Tucker Carlson, Trump was involved in sex trafficking, or he says it. He loved the girls on the younger age. He was able to walk into the pageants and they were young when they were naked. This is insane. It is absolutely insane. So Pluto is on Epstein, okay? And then it is also opposing Venus over here when he gets shot. But the major things that we have to check, that his ascendant, that his body, Mars is, and the Medusa is on it as well, squaring with Uranus Mars conjunction on his political status as a presidential candidate over here, and Argo was here as well, beheaded. So I knew he will be shot on the head. I told you in 2024 January, and he was. As I said, I was the first one over here. All right. Then what else happened over here? So Jupiter is in 11th house. It was in 11th house. It was in detriment, but it was also in planetary joy. Jupiter is the VIP people. It is the people who are sponsoring your political career, right? It's in detriment, but it's on Uranus, so I'm going to create chaos in your life if you are not obedient. So that's what's happening over here. Trump was born during a full moon, right? Okay, and then I want to show you where is Israel for him. So Pluto on Epstein, okay? All right, so let's see what else is happening here. So for him in his chart, let me see. Israel is in the ninth house. Aries, transit Aries was on it. Aries is discord and chaos, and I enjoy you to suffer. I want to threaten you. I want you to be fearful, for example, right? Ninth house, anything to do with social media. I want to do that in public, right? That is also, and it is squaring with Venus and Saturn, which is like, I make sure you're going to get maybe even hospitalized. So when you asking that, was it staged, right? It was not necessarily staged to win the election. It might have been staged, but not by him, by something else. And let me show you something over here, which is very uh, important for us. So transit Israel was actually at 12 degrees open enemies, and it was opposing his Pluto. All right. Okay. And right now, chart selection, and I'm gonna go to his progress chart. I didn't go to the progress chart of the other people because it would be very, very long. But I just want to show progress chart for you. So then you understand a lot more thing. And you're just going to make your so natal progress chart. Here it is. Guys, look at the progress. Israel. It's on his midheaven. Don't forget, Uranus and Mars was also here with progress Israel on the midheaven. Saturn and progress Saturn, progress is progress midheaven, which is his career to taking onto something, was against transit Pluto and natal Epstein asteroid. Okay, so it's still leading back to that. So obviously, this could have been staged, this shot, but it's not by him. It's by someone else to threaten him. You are in our hand. You do whatever we want you to do because otherwise we going to Pluto is in Epstein. Pluto is death. You're just gonna die like Epstein, and we're not going to allow you to do anything. So that's what it is. That's what happened over here. And let's go back actually to Candace Owens because I'm a little bit scared for her. 2 years ago, guys, I made a video and I said I'm scared for Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. Candace Owens didn't change her narrative. Yes, she started to change after October 7th, right? And here is APEC. I just want to also see. Oh, why did we have? So let me go back, and I don't want progress chart. I want to go back to transit, natal and progress. So I'm gonna go back, natal and transit. Okay, so this is APEC over here. And the APEC chart has ascendant Taurus as well, right? And actually, Israel has a Taurus sun, just so you know. But APEC has a Taurus ascendant. And let me see what I wanted to see here. And has a Mars. APEC has a 24 degrees Mars in Leo, which is actually by the time of shooting was on Trump, Mars and ascendant. Okay. All right. Just so you know. That's it. Because it's also say something here. Okay, then we're gonna go. That's what I wanted to check. And then I'm going to go to Candace Owens. Here is Candace Owens, and I'm going to go right now. I'm gonna change the chart for 25th, 2025, and let's go November already. And let's go and move forward here. As I said, oh, and I wanted to do Anna as well, but I'm not going to do it. I just gonna go. So as I said, she's a Scorpio rising. I actually ratified her chart. She has that kind of investigative journalism uh, tendencies, and she also has Mars is in fall in Cancer in the ninth house, and Mars also rules Scorpio, which is actually representing finances, and she actually, because of the financial aid, she couldn't continue the university journalism. Ninth house is journalism, right? And she is also a patriot and Cancer, Mars in Cancer, fighting for families, children, women. So she really has that kind of nature. And yes, uh, so here it is, guys, and here it is what's going on. And where is Israel for her? Israel actually is with Aries conjuncting in her sixth house. Sixth house is held in Aries is very aggressive. It's ruled by Mars, and it could be something to do with bullying. As I said for you guys, she has a 9 degrees Taurus Sun, and Venus is in Taurus as well, in the alliances and open enemies. The sun opposing actually Pluto for her with Venus. So yes, there is an indication in her chart actually to, you know, and Pluto is on her ascendant. So there is an indication over here to be careful with open enemies because of she can be her livelihood and life could be threatened, right? And Pluto also squares her midheaven as well. Midheaven is in the 10th house for her, and it's conjunct with Medusa. It's a wide conjunction, and with asteroid usually we check 2 degrees, but I always give a little bit of more because it's influencing anywhere anyway. So there is a lot of attack from, for example, from females as well, who doesn't agree with her, like narrative. So that could be that. But let me see. At this moment, Jupiter and Israel conjuncting in her ninth house. Jupiter is in exalted, so it's giving a lot of power to Israel to stop his YouTubing is ninth house. So it is actually wants to stop something, and it is also squaring with natal Israel over here in the sixth house. Sixth house is her work. So trying to actually ninth house also court case and lawsuits as well. So they're going to try to take her out with a lot of lawsuits over here. So that could be yes, an issue. When Uranus is gonna go to her eighth house and on Mercury, for example, and Jupiter, it could be something to do with speech as well, something to do with the right to speak the truth. And she always going to actually, speak the truth, but it could cost her, her YouTube channel. And it's not even necessarily like, okay, they're just going to get rid of, manipulate, or hack her YouTube so she won't be able to monetize. And if she doesn't have money enough to save, then everybody is suing her, it could threaten her livelihood as well. All right, so they want her to give in. However, Pluto Sun opposition in general, it could be like an issue over here, especially because Pluto went in Aquarius and it is going to square with her Sun and it's going to square with his Pluto, with her Pluto. So I really want her to be mindful, for example, in a year and a half, because it could actually create some kind of uh, death, like killing, like maybe somebody wants to kill her. And probably it's also Pluto is going to start to oppose Medusa over here within 2 years. Within 2 years, yes, I would say. Not even 2 years, because 2026, Pluto gonna go up to 9 degrees, guys. It's already gonna square her sun, and it's already going to square her natal Pluto and ascendant and opposing Medusa. So obviously there is some kind of danger in this chart, significant danger over here. And as I said, you can see over here, Eris and Israel is conjuncting in her sixth house of work, and it is making a square with her midheaven and opposing Pluto as well. So not opposing Pluto, no, it's King Kong's, I'm sorry, yes. So it's not, but it is, oh, it is a trine. Wait a minute. Yes, it's a trine with the midheaven. So, all right. So in this case, um, as I said, Uranus is going to go to on Mercury and Jupiter. So it is actually she always going to say the truth. So eventually she will win. So this is good because of her voice will be heard and she will win. But at this moment, what I see with Jupiter Israel over here in the ninth house, they're going to try to hack her YouTube channel and take away her livelihood, taking her to court. And that's what it is. But still she has to be careful when Pluto gonna go up to the fourth house. It's ending also, right? Fourth house is ending and funerals. Pluto over here, square Pluto and the Sun, it's a T square and midheaven, yeah. So there could be some kind of major issue over there which could actually threaten her life. All right, so that's what I wanted to tell you guys, and I'm not going further. I could, but it was way too much people to talk about. Next time I'm going to actually go to Europe and all the countries in Europe I'm gonna analyze. And then after that, I'm going to go to Middle East, what's gonna happen the next 5 years for us. All right. Please like, subscribe, and give a shout out anywhere. Share my videos because I'm censored by YouTube. Okay. All right. Thank you. Bye.